everyone, I'm Sammy, and welcome to my first workroom vlog. I've been watching Noelle costuming drama for a hot minute, and there's a lot of sewing workroom vlogs on the internet, but I don't know of that many knitting and crocheting and other fiber arts ones. So I thought I'd make my own. I have been knitting for 11 years now? 10 or 11? And I've been crocheting for about 4. And I have a lot of projects in progress that I've been documenting on my Instagram, kind of intermittently. I thought video would be a much better format for documenting the projects that I do and the struggles that I encounter going through them, and how everything turns out. So, this is my vlog. Today's main project is getting this guy done. This is a dragon that does not have wings yet. So my Dungeons & Dragons group came across some dragon eggs, and one of them hatched. So now we have a little tiny baby blue dragon. And I thought it would be fun to have a, unintentionally, somewhat true to scale, representation of our dragon. So I've been working on this throughout the past week. Got the body and the legs and the horns done. But needs wings, needs a spine, needs some ears. So I'm going to work on that. Our dragon's name is Xerxes, but we call him Toaster because blue dragons in the Dungeons & Dragons world are lightning dragons. So this is Xerxes. Xerxes is hopefully going to get done today. Welcome to the Desk of Chaos. This is where I do pretty much all of my work, and it's a disaster at all times. But for right now, I finished the stomach piece for Xerxes last night. So I'm going to sew that on, and then I'm going to make the spine and sew that on and see how much we get done today. I'd like to apologize for the cup with the straw that's in frame. This was my first time ever filming myself with a camera and a tripod, so I'm still figuring out my setup. And so the camera is in and out of focus on my face throughout this clip. I'm so sorry about that. Things will be improved in the future, I promise. My cat is attacking my yarn. Come here. This is Pippin. He's 18 years old, the oldest man who has ever lived. And I'm the only one home right now, so therefore I am the one who gets harassed. And normally he doesn't play that much anymore, but he's trying to eat my yarn as I seam together this dragon. I should also note that seaming things together is my least favorite part of anything, which is why I'm a knitter and a crocheter and not a seamstress. I'm gonna give this boy some attention before getting back to work. For those of you who are curious about my D&D misadventures, we acquired Xerxes' egg during a budding day festival, which we thought was gonna be like a casual downtime session where we roleplayed some carnival games and just messed around. And then I decided that my character, it was in her character to cheat at one of the games, and so I won what we thought was going to be a paper mache dragon egg, but it turns out the guy that was making the paper mache dragon eggs was crazy and was kidnapping dragon eggs and modeling his paper mache after them, and he got them mixed up. And so 2 of the 3 prizes were real dragon eggs. So we took those and were like, oh god, what are we gonna do with 2 dragon eggs? And before we found an answer, one of them hatched, and so now we have a blue lightning dragon named Xerxes, who we call Toaster. While we're in montage land, I'd also like to address a comment that I got a lot when I posted pictures of this dragon in a D&D Facebook group. No, I do not sell these. This took me 2 weeks, and if I were to sell it, it would cost about $500. Which I don't think any reasonable person should pay an amateur to make them a dragon and pay $500 for it. That doesn't seem reasonable. The creator of the pattern has some of her original works on her Etsy for sale, and I'm sure that there are professional crochet artists that you could commission to make a dragon who could make it faster and therefore sell it to you for cheaper. But this is not my forte, so therefore they're not for sale. Look at him! He has a tummy. And I sewed it on fairly symmetrically. You love to see it. There's a wire in his head. He has horns and a tummy. And I'm gonna go get lunch. This pattern that I'm using, by the way, is a dragon pattern by Crafty Intentions that I bought on Ravelry. Hey, Pippin. For $6. This person has a ton of various dragon patterns in different sizes and different styles, and it's an incredibly well written pattern. It's like 105 pages, and every step, for the most part, has pictures, so you know if you're doing it right. So 12 out of 10 would recommend getting one of these patterns if you're interested in crocheting a dragon. Let's make some ears, shall we? Wow, this angle is terrible. Aren't you glad that it changes later? During this portion I was watching the Britney vs. Spears documentary. I don't know if you all are interested in what I'm watching or listening to while knitting and crocheting. So if you are, let me know if you want reviews or just an overview or just my recommendations. I don't know, comment below, please tell me, because I only want to do what you guys are interested in seeing. Good morning. So, you know how yesterday I said I was going to finish this dragon? Needless to say, it still does not have wings. Turns out the spine ridge took approximately two and a half tries. I crocheted it first in the navy yarn and didn't have enough of it, and it didn't go all the way to the end of the tail, so I ripped it out and made it in white, and then started up here and sewed it down and didn't space it evenly and had way too much of the tail, so I had to rip out all the sewing that I did and then start again at the tail and then go up here so that way I could space it properly and any excess could go between the horns. Today we're going to do the wings, and then this puppy's going to be done for D&D on Friday. Wow, that's hilarious that I thought that I was going to finish this project on that day. Turns out crocheting dragons takes forever. It's also important to note throughout the wing section that I only show on camera one of each of the wings just for battery and memory card on my camera's sake, and also because this video is long enough and you don't need to see me do the exact same thing twice, 3 times in a row. I also do very, very little tutorializing on this video for the reasons of copyright, because this is a pattern that is not free or in the public domain, and I want to respect the creator of the pattern for all of their hard work. Apparently it took several months to create this pattern, so no, you cannot have it for free. No, I'm not going to tell you how to do it. You can watch me do it, but for other patterns, either free patterns or patterns that I create in the future, in future videos, I probably will tutorialize more. The blue glove that I'm wearing in a lot of these clips is a compression glove from Line Brand Yarn. I have had wrist tension issues for a very long time. Yes, I know that my knife hold on my crochet hook is probably contributing to that, but I tried to retrain myself to pencil hold and it didn't work. So I usually wear 1 or 2 compression gloves when I am knitting and crocheting to help stabilize and protect my wrists. So, I made one wing on camera, and then I made the other one off camera. And now it is time to make them, to edge them and attach them to the body. I don't know what I'm gonna do about yarn color though, because I don't think I have enough of this navy to make the casings that the wires will go in, because the casings are gonna be pretty wide strips. I mean, I guess I could do, because there's 2 veins that go down each one that I want to do in the navy, and I could do like a row or 2 of white and then a row of navy and then a row or 2 of white for the casings. That way the peak of the casing is navy, but I don't use up all of the yarn because I don't have left any other yarns that I use in this. I don't have any of the body color. Well, I have like scraps of the body color left. And I barely have any white left. I have a slightly different sparkly white, but it's already so patchworked. I'm just gonna crochet on the veins and then I'll get back to you. This section of me trying to figure out how to make little bits of yarn work for the rest of this project is a great example of why I wanted to film my process instead of just posting pretty pictures on Instagram. Because while I appreciate the compliments, I want people to realize that this isn't like magic. I don't have some inherent talent that makes me good at this. It's a lot of practice and a lot of trial and error. And during the first part of this dragon making process, which I didn't film, I had to rip back a lot of sections and redo them. I am a human being who has gotten decent at knitting and crocheting through trial and error, and I think that anybody can do it. Okay, so I've got the ribs done. And I remembered I have some of this black left. So I don't know if between the black and the blue, if I have enough to do the whole channel casings. I might have more black in my stash somewhere. So I don't have any more regular black, but I did find in my stash some sparkly black. We're introducing yet another yarn to this project at the finish line, but in the spirit of sparkly dragon wings, the wire channels are going to be sparkly black. Remember when I said I'd have this project done on Tuesday? Remember that? Well, so I crocheted the wings yesterday, as you saw, and now it is time to attach them to the dragon. So I got some wire. I just took some wire coat hangers that are coated and had my dad chop them into the right lengths. I pre-bent them. And I'm just gonna stick those in the dragon, duct tape them together, duct tape the ends so they don't poke out the ends. And then sew the wings onto them. And then we'll be done. Then we'll really be done. This is real. This is real life, folks. Sometimes things take a lot longer than you thought they would. Let's get to that. The creator of this pattern said that using coat hangers was fine, but honestly, if you're going to use this pattern, I would use floral wire like they did in their example. I don't know if it was the weight of the coat hanger or the weight of the wings, but after I finished this, the wings truly started to sag back and didn't sit up the way that I really wanted them to. So I think if you're gonna do this, I would use a lighter wire and also space out the back support wire a lot farther back than I put it in order to give it a lot more anchorage. The really thick coat hanger wire was also very difficult to reposition and made the dragon not very huggable or squishable and kind of hard to travel with. Alright, the pattern says to pin this in place and sew it while it's on the wires, but that sounds like a nightmare. So I think I'm going to sew up, because it starts at this end, I think I'm going to sew it up to like here, and then slide it on the armature, and then sew it down, and then connect some either white or blue yarn to sew it to the side of the body. So, time to do my least favorite part, sewing. We're nearing the end of the video, which means it's time for Sammy's shameless self-promotion corner. I don't sell dragons, once again, but I do sell dice bags. If you're a dice goblin like me and you need a giant Laura Bailey-sized dice bag with dividers, I crochet those and I sell them on Etsy. I have 3 listed right now, but I also am willing to take custom commissions with either yarn that you provide or yarn from my stash. If you're interested in that, message me on Instagram, which is Sammy Knits, or on my Etsy shops, Knits by Sammy, and let me know if you're interested. Well, after 2 weeks, the dragon is done! The first week was off camera, but after these 3 days of working on it, he is complete. I'll insert some better footage of him 360. So if you've watched all the way to the end, I love you so very much. Please subscribe. Please like this video to let me know that you enjoyed it. Please leave in the comments any suggestions for things that you would like to see in the future, aspects of knitting and crocheting that you're interested in, that I can show more. This was basically just me filming the process with like a little bit of talking, but if there's some things that you want explained better, please let me know. Apologies again for the extreme inconsistencies in lighting and angles in this video. I am figuring out brand new filming setup, brand new camera that I'm just getting to know, and this room is not very big and my tripod is large, so hopefully in future it will look a lot better and be a lot more consistent. But thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next week